Alrighty, everyone. Hopefully that was this module was helpful in understanding some more advanced kind of ideas when it comes to Flexbox, which is becoming a much more common way to do layout. I mean, grids is great because it obviously makes rows and columns very simple. But Flexbox is really useful, especially you have to understand that when you build a website, you're kind of future-proofing it a little bit, which means like, what if someone were to add content later? Like think about like there's something called a content management system is where, think about like someone in human resources adding a image to your website or a link to your navigation bar or something, since they don't understand CSS, that could break your design. So Flexbox is kind of like it makes it easier to add content without it kind of breaking the overall design, which is why it's kind of useful. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully the idea of wireframing, this is once again kind of a layout process of planning things out. All right, so let's talk about your homework. All right, today is the 19th, and I'm giving you a lab that goes over Flexbox. Okay, this is kind of your standard Mr. Hurwitz type follow along lab. It goes over Flexbox, including how to set up Flexbox, the various Flexbox options, like centering things and putting in gaps and making things kind of break responsively and things like that. So that'll be due not this Friday, but the Friday after next, which is the 30th. All right. So when we were doing assignment, before assignment one, I gave you guys a couple of more bigger kind of practice template web pages to work on, if you remember. It was that candy shop and the flower shop kind of thing. And this is kind of the same idea where, I'm giving you, a more sophisticated website. So here's this website, and it kind of looks like the way an actual website would look. It's got like, columns and a big splash header and icons and things like that. And so, this is going to be kind of practice of how to make an actual really sophisticated page. Because before, what you were really missing from assignment one was a stronger understanding of like good layout techniques, which is what Flexbox is, which is what grids is. There's a couple more things we're going to talk about, like CSS positioning and things like that. And that's going to really help you kind of take your designs and your projects to really kind of like that next level, so to speak. Okay. So this is kind of a more open-ended lab. It's due the 2nd, which is not next Monday, but the Monday after that. This is, you should really, this is going to be a bigger project that I want you guys to work on. So, um, you should really be, this is going to fit nicely into your next major project, which, believe it or not, is coming up pretty soon, because there's really only so much I have to talk about when it comes to layout. There's only about 2 weeks really worth of that. And so then you can kind of work on the next project. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about your next project. Okay.